everybody? We're back talking some more Season 4 Titans on the channel. It's the finale for Part 1. I feel like Part 1 went by very fast, but still, things are really going down to the wire here for the Titans team now that Sebastian is with Mother Mayhem, and there are only a couple hours left to stop her from Sebastian changing into Brother Blood. And even if you have an idea of where it's going to end off on due to the fact that the episode is titled Brother Blood, we're still going to talk about the episode in detail. As you can imagine, it's a pretty awkward ride home, Corey and Rachel going back to the Titans to tell them that they lost Sebastian to Mother Mayhem, and they only have 2 hours left to spare to try and formulate any type of plan to stop this from happening. The weirdest part of this about the whole team formulating a new plan is when Connor shows back up, because I assumed that Connor was going to go back to normal after they got the cursed magic snakes out of him, but he's just going off the deep end now. Like, I'm talking full extreme makeover transformation, giving himself a sick buzz cut with his laser beam eyes in the bathroom, which I imagine even if you're superpowered or not would have to hurt. There has to be better ways to get rid of your hair, and he's just acting like full-blown Lex Luthor now, which just feels kind of odd. Part of why I think it feels so jarring is the transformation itself just feels so abrupt, shifting personalities, going by Mr. Luthor. He's certainly showcased signs in the past where he's had more Lex Luthor-like personality traits and tendencies, but shaving your head, crafting these elaborate plans to stop the Blood Moon, and even calling Dick Richard now, much like Lex did in the Season 4 premiere, it just feels just so odd, just out of left field kind of odd. It would be one thing if it was building up to that, but Lex Luthor died in the first episode, so we didn't get to really see that build. If there is an upside to this transformation into Connor Luthor, at least he got some stuff done, moving satellites around to kind of sort of temporarily stop the Blood Moon from happening until they can try and pinpoint where Sebastian and Mother Mayhem's lair is. It's been really hard over the course of these 6 episodes to get a good read on Sebastian, even now that he's with Mother Mayhem and she's trying her best to get him to buy into the whole fact that he's going to be Brother Blood, even if he is very apprehensive to being evil. So much like we've seen all of the seasons so far, we got Mother Mayhem spinning the gears, trying to figure out the best ways to convince him to kind of join the dark side, if you will. Now showcasing various obstacles from people in different time periods of Sebastian's life, kind of shaping him into being this damaged, fragile person, whether it's his date making him melt down in a restaurant, teachers punishing him for his intelligence, or when he's younger being made to give up his Game Boy to a girl. Who would have thought a Game Boy would be so integral to the villainous path for Brother Blood? It was also very convenient that the 3 people that wronged him in his life were brought up as members of the Cult of Blood. I mean, I don't really think that they're there of their own fruition. They're probably there because Mother Mayhem is controlling them, but that's not really addressed. It doesn't really matter. In the meantime, we only have about 2 hours left to go, even though it feels like much longer just because they're doing so many different things. The Titans got to formulate another new plan, shifting now into potentially using teleportation, which seems much more complicated than any of these characters could comprehend when Jinx does try to explain it to everyone. I've come to really like Jinx as a member of the team. It really feels like she is a full-fledged member, and she's not really just in it for the money, even though Dick Grayson does give her the money anyways. Jinx is even trying her hardest to get Rachel's powers back with a little bit of help of Corey. I do think it is kind of gross that part of the way that she gets her powers back is eating some of Jinx's hair. That just feels kind of gross to me. And there is that blossoming romance also kind of in the background between Bernard and Tim after they kissed last week. Very adorable banter once again between the two of them. Bernard fearing for Tim's safety if he's going out on these missions with the Titans team, which honestly, that's pretty valid. Tim has not had a lot of formal training, and when we have seen him out in the field, he's not really contributing all that much. Maybe eventually he'll be like the Tim Drake from the comic books, but right now, Tim is kind of a liability out in the field. Unknowingly, because it's a big surprise to us, the audience, as much as it is to Corey, turns out that Corey is now able to access way more of her mysterious new powers than earlier this season, so she does have to use a little bit more caution going forward. I really wish that we would explain her powers more, because they've been shown to be pretty cool so far, and I guess that explains why her powers weren't really all that effective a couple episodes back when she was fighting those zombies in the Supermart, but I want to know more about the powers. I'm really hoping that we delve deeper into that more into part 2 of season 4, because this isn't the only thing left hanging in the balance to kind of speculate upon leading into part 2. The other one being that Gar is having these kind of clairvoyant style visions, seeing things before they happen. He gets stopped on the street by a mysterious man talking to him about things when the animals and prophecies, and when the tower splits in half to take himself to the red, whatever that means. Of course, the rest of the team can't count on Connor Luthor anymore anymore because he shifted into this dark persona and doesn't really like them all that much, but it was still frustrating to me that he goes rogue and tries to stop everything by himself, just running right into Mother Mayhem's lair to try and face off against her alone, only to get instantly tricked by Mother Mayhem and get captured in the process. It's so frustrating. It would have been so much easier for him to just run in there, grab Sebastian, much like he did when he broke him out of prison, and come back, but that Lex Luthor ego kicked in, and he got himself captured in the process. So now, not only do the Titans have to go in there to try and save Sebastian at the last minute, we gotta save Connor now too. It was cool to see them finally all suit up again. We have not really gotten too much of them suited up so far in part 1, which has been kind of disappointing, but nevertheless, it is always still cool. We even get a Crypto appearance. I kind of forgot about Crypto, to be honest, because he's not been on screen. I've been wondering, where the hell has this dog been this entire season? And I guess he's just been off screen the whole time. Maybe it's just me, but I don't know why you leave Crypto the super dog at home. I feel like he would have been extremely useful on this mission. He's very powerful. He's more powerful than a few of the members of the Titans, but I don't know, maybe it's a budget thing, CGI-wise. Speaking of CGI, everyone that was so excited for Gar to transform into an animal of some sorts, we finally get one here. He transforms, bursting in as a gorilla. Pretty awesome. I mean, it's not the greatest VFX or anything, but it was still great seeing him wreck folks as a gorilla. He's breaking the crystal to get Raven her powers back, and now Raven is the full-blown White Raven now, which I've always loved that costume in the comics, so I'm glad that we're going to have that style now. It's definitely a lot of fun seeing the Titans infiltrate Mother Mayhem's lair. It does feel a little bit rushed, unfortunately, because this does happen in the last 5 to 10 minutes of the episode, but I'm always going to be excited seeing the team work together and fight off against a bunch of different enemies. I was surprised that we get to see Jinx has a superhero outfit as well. We don't get to see it for very long, because talk about an epic fail. We see her show up with this really cool costume. It seems like we're going to have this epic showdown between her and Mother Mayhem, and Mother Mayhem just stabs her in the gut immediately, and that ends the battle between the two of them. Like, what a waste. Even if we knew going in that all of their attempts were pretty much going to be futile, it still was pretty awesome seeing Corey and Rachel put their powers together to take on Mother Mayhem for a little bit. A very predictable yet interesting end to part 1, though, with Sebastian choosing to drink the blood to try and become Brother Blood. He lets out this guttural scream as all the Titans disappear into the red. And we end part 1 with Sebastian getting into the blood to become Brother Blood, which is very obvious. The episode is called Brother Blood. We've seen promotional images of him as Brother Blood. There was really no doubt in my mind he was going to become Brother Blood, but it's definitely a huge tease because who knows next year when we're going to get part 2. All of this was kind of the build up to him becoming Brother Blood, and it will be really fascinating to see where we go with him now that he is Brother Blood for the final stretch of the episode. But once you've seen the finale for part 1 of season 4 of Titans, make sure you share your thoughts down below. What did you think of the part 1 finale? Did you like the part 1 finale? Did you not like the part 1 finale? Share any thoughts or theories you may have where we're going to go for part 2 of season 4 when it comes to Brother Blood, all the stuff involving Gar, Corey's powers, a bunch of other stuff on the horizon too. But either way, share all your thoughts down below in the comment section because part of the funnest time to conversate with you guys in the comment section down below. Also, I don't know what's coming up on the channel in the meantime. You know, many of reviews, reactions, it's the end of the year, so there's probably going to be a lot of end of the year rankings and stuff like that. Best of the year, worst of the year. Whenever Titan season 4 does return though, for the second part of season 4, I will be back to talk about those episodes, so stay tuned. Hopefully early 2023. I feel like maybe wishful thinking it'll come back right after Doom Patrol season 4 part 1 ends because they're kind of trading off now. Once the finale for this hits, next week is going to be the beginning of Doom Patrol season 4 part 1. But who knows? Fingers crossed. Like I said, thank you guys always check out the reviews. I always do appreciate it. Stay tuned for more content on the channel very soon. And make sure you like on the video. Also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And until the next time though, I'll see you guys later.